looks like some of these were ironed out. But Billy, let's talk about Star
Mm-hmm.
Wars Jedi Survive. Is it Survive or Survivor?
Jedi
Survive.
Survivor.
Maze, you're playing it too, right?
Yeah, I started it too.
Yeah, so let's
Hell
dive
yeah.
right into what you guys think about this game so far.
So Maze, we're both playing on PlayStation, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. This has been in the news as of late. It's had a rough start. I've been playing on PlayStation. Yeah, I haven't seen a ton of glitches. I have seen glitches. I've heard the PC port is in a very bad state.
Oof.
I've heard the Series S is in a better state, but not faring as well. It's more of graphical issues. Nothing like tons of hard crashes like the PlayStation or the PC version. But from what I've played so far on the PlayStation 5, and Maze, I don't know if you can attest to this. I haven't seen a ton of graphical issues to the point where it's deterring me from playing this game. I'm having a really fun time with it. And I also don't have like a super spec'd out TV. I have like a traditional LCD TV.
4K.
4K.
You got the HDR going or no HDR?
So I've been playing. I checked it both out because I wanted to like compare the performance mode and then the stock 30 frames per second visual like high fidelity.
Yo, real quick, going back to Redfall, Red Flag when that came out and they're like, we're only releasing this at 30 frames and not at 60 frames because let's be honest, if you have the option between 30 frames and 60 frames, who in their right mind is choosing the 30? Like who blatantly goes, you know what? I want quality mode. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
But and I totally agree. It was interesting. I watched these guys are awesome, Digital Foundry. Go check out their stuff on YouTube if you don't listen to them. They do a great analysis of like all the different ports of this if it on the PC, PlayStation. They try out the different modes, see how they work. The Series S as opposed to the PlayStation 5. But they said that in their report that the standard 30 frames per second with the ray tracing and all that looks really good and actually performs better. So I checked it out last night. I don't see it performing as well as they say. I think that the 60 frames per second actually looks better. Maze, what are you playing on? Are you playing on 60 or are you playing
I went for the ray tracing. I haven't checked out the 60 yet because I just wanted to see at its full capabilities with the quality wise. So I actually haven't looked at the 60 frames.
Oh, so I guess I'm the bad guy here because I just called out Maze. I was like, who in the hell does this?
Yeah, I was
Maze
gonna say
right there.
I am, but I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to be that guy. But yeah, I'm checking out. I wanted the ray tracing and the high fidelity personally.
Fair enough.
And here's my thing. I tried them both. I think the fluid animation of the 60 frames is still really good. And like I think it takes a big hit in the resolution. You can see textures are
you see really. I mean, they showed it side by side when you get to choose. Like you can see the stark difference. So I did go. That's why I went for it because in my head they really poured a lot into this one. And I'm seeing it like in the first like world that you go to where it's basically open world. Like you can explore a good chunk of it and go where you want. Yeah. So I figured why not experience it, kind of the way they wanted you to see it. Like, sure, you could do 60 frames and get that nice fluid motion, but I kind of appreciate the ray tracing and all the graphical prowess they put into this.
Now, without spoiling it too much, what do you guys think of the story so far? You guys talked a lot about the graphics and the high fidelities and the 60 frames per second. What do you guys think about the story and then kind of bleed into that into the gameplay a little bit?
I really like it. I don't want to spoil anything, but it really ties in. So this is not a spoiler, but it takes place during the time of like the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and Order 66 has just happened, and you're basically on the run from the Empire.
No, did it just happen? I don't think it just happened.
Order 66 has happened. Yeah.
Empire... but I think didn't it happen in the first game?
No. Yeah, there's some time because Cal was a youngling. that managed to live.
Yeah, he survived and he's in hiding.
Yeah, that was the
So
first
now
game.
he's like, yeah, but now he's like, he's got to
Now
at
he's
least
a-
be like his 20s, so it's been several years.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but the Empire is still in control.
Oh yeah,
and
oh yeah,
it's
yeah. We're at that point where they're still in control right now.
it's clear that where it is in falls in the timeline of Star Wars is it during Obi-Wan's time. Remember when Obi-Wan goes into hiding?
Yeah. So it's happening during the happening of the show.
Yeah, there's a like I don't know, a 10 to 20 years gap between
that
that
sounds about right. Yeah.
when Luke Skywalker
Just Luke's
starts coming in.
adolescence is what we're talking about here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I'm really loving the story. I think it's good. They bring all the characters back. One thing I will say, and Maze, you could probably attest to this, is that I would not play this game unless if I played the first game.
Oh well, no. Why would you? This is definitely, in all intents and purposes, a story-driven game. I mean,
some sequels or games like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, for example, like you can play second or third games in a series,
but this
and
is most
not have
certainly-
any context.
Yeah, but this is most certainly not one of those scenarios. I mean, we knew this game going in was going to continue to follow the story of Cal. So,
And
that being said, you had to know that you should have played the first one.
and even
Mhm.
some games where you don't, and people forgive me for this, even some games that are direct follow-ups and the story continues, sometimes the story isn't really that intriguing or that kind of tightly weaved. I think a good example of this is Gears. Like, I jumped right into Gears 4 and I'm like, oh, it's just guys with just big boots walking around killing things.
I
Like,
think even that's a different scenario though too. Like Gears, like it's still the same premise, but it's all like different characters in their stories.
yeah. But
Like
sorry.
this is directly from the first game into the second, maybe by like a year or two. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly what the full time skip is.
But
Yeah.
regardless, what do
It's-
you so story, I know we really can't dive into the story, but and you guys say it's a continuation, but let's dive into the gameplay.
Gameplay,
Feels good.
I love it. I love that there's so much more variety of action fighting in this game. I don't know where Maze is in the game, so I can't really talk about the additional stances that you get.
Well, far enough to know that there are additional stances.
Yeah, so you start the game with a couple stances. You get like the dual blade. You can take your tool. You can have two blades at once, and then the single lightsaber. It's just like the classic. And then there's skill trees associated with each one and powers associated with each one. Skill tree is pretty good. There, you don't unlock everything right off the bat. You can see how there's like additional skill trees that are hidden until you get to that place in the story. One thing with this game is it is a Metroidvania style action role-playing game. So
/ Dark Souls-esque.
Souls, yeah. So I am having that issue. It's a personal issue. Maybe having that too, where I'm wanting to explore everything while I'm there and like getting 100% on things. But I realize I can't because I need to go through the story to get that ability and then come back.
No, and it's just like the first game. You can't go everywhere all at once. You need to backtrack at certain points. But I think they flesh it out way more in this one because there are now side missions you can undertake in the second one. I don't think they had that in the first one, did they? Were there side missions in the first one?
I don't remember, and if they did, I
believe there were. I know like you would backtrack, you could find additional upgrades and power-ups and stuff like that. But I don't think there were side missions, were there?
I'm not
I don't think
sure.
so.
Yeah, you could go to, like Maze was saying, you can go, there's collectibles and all this other jazz.
Like
but
you still have all that, but now like you can interact with other NPCs and they will give you like side quests. Like you get to like the first like world and right off the bat there's ones like you need to go, and it's not spoiling anything, it's a side quest. You need to go, can you help like go look for these like lost miners? We haven't heard from them. Like, can you investigate it? It's like, yeah, sure. And it gives you like a mark on the area where you can go, and it's a whole side thing. And it gives you stuff for it. So I do like that. I like that they've kind of expanded upon it, gives you more to do. I think that will actually help with the leveling system since this is a Souls-esque game where you get XP for doing certain things, defeating enemies, and then you got to go to like a meditation point and use it to get the skills.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's still it has that risk reward element to the gameplay where if
Oh
you
yeah.
die in the field, then you have to
Oh
go
yeah.
back and kill the enemy or find the location where you died, and you will get your
Yeah.
Jedi points back. So there
I've already
is some
experienced that
yeah.
risk reward.
So I like that. I mean, I know there's a lot of negative press on this game right now because of like the glitches.
Oh, well, that's only for the PC version. We don't care
As
the PC
as
version.
of recording today, I know that there's a big patch that's coming out for PlayStation and Xbox today. The PC one came out the other day to address some of the things. I'm
Personally,
sure
I haven't seen any issues since I've been playing. I've been playing for like 2 or 3 hours. I haven't had a single issue with it.
I've seen some stuff. I've
haven't.
seen a few things. I've seen some major like pop in. I've seen some frame rate dips. I've
I could be honest,
seen
yeah. I mean, I'm sure there is. I'm not saying that people are saying it. I'm not saying the people who are saying it's there are lying. I just personally, I haven't seen any. I haven't had no issues with it.
yeah, nothing that has ended my gameplay or did a hard stop of the game, like something that's closed the system because it's like an error has occurred. You know
Yeah,
what
no,
mean?
I haven't had anything crash, and I read through what that update is fixing. And I read through like each of the bullet points, like what it fixes, and I didn't see any of those issues in the time I've been playing so far. So, not saying they're not there, but far as I can tell, I've had no issues, and I'm quite thoroughly enjoying it.
Thanks for listening to VGP. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Also, follow VGP on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at A Video Game Podcast.